Yes, we're live and it's all good. I hope everybody is doing well. Again, what a mad week, but at least it's been nice to have some good weather. Hey, I hope you guys are well. Yes, we've got lots of stuff to go through, and we have got loads of screen shares and information to go through because this, my friends, is turning out to be a bit of a nightmare regarding the migrants here in the UK. And it's looking like every single day now that is definitely a part of a bigger picture and a plan, but we're going to go through that very soon. But very briefly, before we just went live this evening, I just checked on the stats on the YouTube channel, and in the last 28 days we have another 5,899 new subscribers. So thanks ever so much for finding the channel and indeed subscribing. But most important of all, can everyone check when you get a chance to check that notification bell is set to all notifications? Because when I look through the analytics further, only half of all of my subscribers have that selected. So you might have done it before, but what tends to happen with YouTube and indeed other things, it gets reset. So if you could just check that, that would be really cool. And if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. And if you're watching for the first time and not subscribed, it's a good thing to do because we've got an awesome community. You can see them there right now in the chat, and we've been live for 1 minute and we've got nearly 400 people here already, which is awesome. And I just checked on the chat briefly, and I saw Faye, who is top mod and probably always will be. Yes, the times have now changed to 9 p.m. Basically, the reasoning behind that is because the clocks went forward, and any one of you who are watching now who have young kids, yes, they struggle to realize that change. So it was getting to be a bit of a nightmare to do this thing at 8 o'clock when he's going to bed at 7:30. It's just too much, too hectic. So hopefully this might be a temporary measure. So when he gets back into a routine and settles earlier, maybe we'll bring it back at 8 o'clock. But anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there quickly, Faye. So yeah, I'm sorry it's affecting you, darling, but that's all we can do at the moment. So yes, like I just said, we've got nearly 6,000 new subscribers. So just a real brief story. This is my full-time job, and that is it. I'm not even getting benefits because I don't believe in it. And I'm also looking to be starting to stop paying council tax and going through the court systems because I've spoken about this before. And like I always say to all of you guys watching this video, I actually walk the walk, okay? There's no way I'm going to be giving advice out there and not doing it myself. So that is going to be happening. So yeah, money is tight and donations are seriously welcome. So if you can, it really helps, but you do not have to, okay? It's not, you don't have to. And I was getting some digs recently about this sort of thing. So my retort to that is, I've been providing free content on YouTube for over 12 years now. And this is my job. So I really do appreciate the donations, especially you guys paying on PayPal, because you can do that as well during the week. And yes, thanks to all of you who have donated during the week on PayPal. I can't tell you how much it actually helps. It really, really does. So you guys are awesome for doing that. So what we're going to do is we're morphing onto a slightly new format. And the first thing, if I can find it on here, is, where is it? Oh, why did I jumble it all up on here? There, bear with me a sec. Right, so I'm looking at that little logo there. I can't see it anywhere. Why isn't it not coming up on my screen? Honestly, I've got so many tabs open. There we go. Right, the first thing we're going to do is look at the current threat levels that face us here in the UK. This is the official site for MI5, and some of you guys may or may not know, MI5 is everything happening inside the UK, and MI6 is everything happening outside the UK. So personally, I think it's a good idea to check what the current levels are so we can prepare ourselves for whatever seems to be coming down the road. So currently, we're talking England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. The threat from terrorism is substantial, okay? Northern Ireland, they have been ramped up to severe, okay? So when we look at this, severe in Northern Ireland means an attack is highly likely. So everyone outside of Northern Ireland in the UK, we're at currently a substantial level, which is an attack is likely. Look at that. So that is what the MI5 are telling the great British public. Substantial threat means an attack is likely. So there you go, guys. Make of that what you will, but we're just putting the information out there. Secondly, we're going to go on to the markets, because there has been some interesting things going on in the markets. So we're going to jump straight over to that right now. And look at this. I've been talking about silver for ages. And look at the price of silver. It's gone from 20 right up over 25 now. Okay. So seeing that in the precious metals commodity markets, that is over the last month. Okay. It is insane. So you guys who have jumped on the silver a long time ago, yes, you are seeing your investments rise and rise and rise. Okay, which is always a good thing. Excuse me. Also gold, last week it was below, now it's topped 2,000. Okay, look at that, $2,000 an ounce. So we look at month, see, you're seeing a similar gain in the gold market as a substantial rise. It was 1,813 back down there, and currently right now we're looking at $2,008. Don't forget, guys, that is for 1 troy ounce based in USD, which is United States dollars. Now looking at the rest of it, an interesting point to note is the oil prices seem to be going up as well. Now, some of you guys may have seen Neil McCoy's Ward's video recently about the oil prices and the decision for, I think it's OPEC Plus, to stop producing X amount of barrels, and that is obviously going to have an impact in the global price of oil. That's going to be the WTI index and the Brent. Okay, so we are seeing rises in that, but a little bit more about how that's going to affect us here in the UK shortly. So aluminum, if you're in America, or aluminium, that has gone up as well. So John, if you're watching, mate, keep an eye on it, son, because you might get a bit more bang for your buck when it comes to cashing in aluminium. So I would sit on it for a while if I was you. You'd get a bit more of a good investment on your price there. Again, look at that nickel, and that's taken a surprise drop. That's interesting. Keep an eye on nickel if you're into markets and metals. Looking down at the rest of it, coffee just gone up marginally again. What else have we got? Corn, that's dropped marginally, which is strange, because if you follow Adapt 2030, you would expect the price of corn to skyrocket, but indeed it isn't. It's remaining low, which is a bit strange. But hey ho. I'm by no means an expert in talking about markets, to be frank. All I do is I just look at the numbers and see if they go up or down, and looking at trends which has happened in the past. Again, wheat, we expected wheat to go up. Maybe they're still using winter wheat, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so, because we're quite some time forward now. So that is a real brief look at the markets where we currently all are. And what else? Right, this one's interesting. You know, I said I talk a little bit about oil, etc. So if I can find it on here, it is going to be, yes, tab 4. If I can find it, where is it? God damn it, there's so many of them. Here we go. I want you guys to look at this. You know, we spoke about the government were planning on literally putting the price of fuel tax basically up. Now look at this, the temporary extension to cutting fuel duty rates. This is quite interesting, guys. Okay, so basically what they're going on to say, we're looking at unleaded, but we're mainly focused on diesel, because diesel literally carries all of our products around the UK on the majority. So look at this. This is how much, right, we are paying in tax per litre. So that's 53 pence, because the 9, you're always going to round that up. So that is going to be, look at that, 53 pence. Every litre that you put in your vehicle is going straight to our wonderful government. That's on top of our car tax. That's on top of our insurance. Okay, that is on top of our MOT charges. etc., etc., etc. So when you look at the prices now, mainly I'm looking about 1.59 a litre. So that's literally going to be like £1.10 a litre. That's how much it would be if the government decided to stop this ridiculous tax on fuel. And looking at the top headline there, they are going to be doing that. I think it was for, here we go. I think they're doing it for another 12 months, if I'm reading this correctly. So yes, it looks like that they are freezing fuel duty, okay, which is a little bit crazy. So we are going to, I think I've removed that now. Would you bloody believe it? So, okay then, let's just do it word of mouth. How much are you paying for diesel where you are right now? Like I said, I'm sort of finding about £1.59-ish per 1 litre of diesel, and that is in the middle of Wales. So how much are you guys paying for diesel, and whereabouts are you paying that? It'd be interesting to see what is going on up there. So yeah, well done. Look at that. We've got nearly 1,000 people here already. So that's awesome in 11 minutes. Pretty crazy, because I didn't really expect too much, because been a little bit offline this week. So yeah, interesting to see. Wow, Kent 156. Wow. Where are we? So that is Furq 156. That's right down in Kent. 167 from Neil. That's over in Leicester. What else have we got? Oh, look at this. We got someone from Spain, Different Gear TV. Good to see you again, mate. I remember seeing you last week. €1.41 in Spain. Wow, that's quite cheap. I don't know what it is usually for you, but that's cheap compared to what we're paying. What have we got here? Well, we got someone from Australia. Here we go. 140. Oh, sorry, not Australia. I can't pronounce that. Andalusia. It's probably Spain. Here we go. Cornish Bob. Now, I can't check this because I'm on StreamYard. Cornish Bob, I'm hoping that your name is in blue and you've got a lovely spanner, because you're Cornish, dude, and you deserve to be a moderator. So, yep, let us know in the chat if that's worked. What have we got here? Well, we've got Jane, 156 in Bridgend. That's pretty damn cheap. Amazing. Yeah, Costco, I don't understand that. There's Cockrow. Has Costco got his own petrol station as well as wholesale foods, etc.? Pretty amazing if it is. Right, what have we got here? We got Sanka over in Manchester. Well, that's pretty much the same as what I'm paying. That's pretty cool. Right, who have we got here? Oh yeah, Faye, absolutely. Hit the thumbs up. That really helps. You've only got to do it once. It takes 1 or 2 seconds to do. Nice one, Faye. Thank you. Also, yeah, London Girl too. Another moderator. She's awesome, by the way, guys. Really cool. Right, what have we got? It's looking pretty much the same across the board, to be frank. Well, 170. That is in North Wales. Taz, that's pretty crazy, dude. I'm paying 11p less than that for exactly the same stuff. Wow. Somerset, that looks like the cheapest. Look at that, 146 a litre of diesel currently right now. That's insane. Right, okay. What have we got here? I'm pretty sure. What have we got? Cool. Cornish Bob. Nice one, mate. That's worked. Brilliant. Okay, so yeah. Andy, yes, mate. That was I just checked before we come on. We're going to move on to that in a sec. Okay, then. So where we got now? We need to go to the banners. Right. So we're just warming up. 1017. That's a good sign. That really is a good sign. So what we need to do now is find out where you are watching from. It's always good to see. Let's hit on to the comments, because we got, as I said, we got nearly 6,000 new subscribers now. So it'd be interesting to see. how far we're reaching from where this HQ is, which is right in the middle of Wales, the lands where not many people live, but it's got the most gun ownership here. So yeah, it's a good place to be. Not many people, loads of guns, loads of mountains. I believe that's where preppers should be, in my own opinion. Oh, check this out. First one shot over in Ohio. Awesome, awesome, awesome. How's all that disaster panning out in Ohio? Because that sort of went right off radar, because there's been so much happened since that derailment, etc. Be interesting to see what the update on it is. And brother, if you can whack that in the comment section or in the chat, that'd be cool. Hi Tim, good to see you, mate. North Kent. Blimey, you all right down there, are you? Blimey, son. Okay, what have we got? We got Scarlett Pimpernel in Lincoln. That's awesome. Hi Carol, how's it going down in Swindon? Swindon, the home of Jacklaw knives. I love Swindon. It's in a beautiful county as well. I love it down there. I really, really do. That's nice to hear. You're coming in loud and clear from across the pond. Another cool moderator, engineered to succeed. A true prepper, which is good to see. Here we got here. Sarah, the group from Essex. All right there, darling. All right there, Treacle. All good, all good. And we got Remy. Hey, dude, from Toronto. Your PM, by the way, will not be PM after Christmas. It's a heads up. Don't worry, it's not going to be around after Christmas. I don't want to deep dive into that, but yeah, that is looking very, very likely. What have we got here? Well, we got people. We got some Glaswegians. Here, Tam. How's it going? That's cool. Oh yeah, of course, Cornish Bob is down here in Cornwall. Yes, awesome. And we have got, wow, Mary Ann Lucas from Nevada, USA. How's it going over there in the United States of Kiss My Ass? Hope it's all good in the hood. Yes, sir. Right, what do we got? Cheshire Wanderer. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you on here, yeah? I hope you're looking after my mate of mine out there. I know you go out to the woods a lot, so yeah, that's awesome to see. He needs some help, that dude. He's been through a lot. You know what I'm talking about. What have we got here? Let me see. Oh, Mary from Paris. Awesome. I'm not far from Bilfwells. I don't know whereabouts you are. Paris is a big county, right? So, yeah. What's this? I'm in my lovely cozy Faye. You're such a tease. What we got here? We got Stealth Car Camper Abergavenny. Awesome. It's usually quite cheap on fuel down there, which is cool. Who we got here? We got Mark up from Newcastle. Awesome. Wow, we got people from all over. Interesting. Malloy there over in Ireland. We got a bit of news from Ireland. So stay tuned. And if you Irish cats in the house, all right, Run to the Woods, always good. Goldie Girl, Mid Wales as well. Awesome. Wow, we got a lot of locals. Fantastic. What have we got? We got someone in Liscard, Cowboy, awesome. Norwich. Ah, Alan Partridge. Sorry. Bo, my brother. How's it going, dude? From the guts of hell. Yeah, he's down the pile of, no, sorry, the Isle of Wight. Awesome. It's good to see 1,100 people in the chat. And we've also got Mythical Moonshine, Northern Ireland. Is that you, Wayne? Covert. I'm not saying nothing else. Right, here we go. Look at this. Robert Tyke Truck in Yorkshire. Yorkshire. Yeah, Yorkshire are quite proud of their place. Everyone should be proud of their place. And here we go. My brother. Hey, Brian, how's it going, buddy? Chelmsford in the Kingdom of East Saxons. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Absolutely. And yeah, my friend over in the States loves seeing your sword, by the way. You saw that. That is awesome. Oh, man, I love that. That is some blade. Awesome. What do we got here? We got someone from Mike, Funky Prepper Forever, Thornton Cleveleys. Nice part of the world. And Swansea, Jax, awesome. Well, honestly, we got, hold on, I just saw someone we got here. Oh, look at that. Fife, Scotland representing. We got Carlos over in Portugal. There's a big, huge van life movement from the UK setting up in Portugal. And I know one personally. That does seem a good place to go. And we got Scruffy over in New Zealand. Good God, that's such a long way away. And let me see, we're just going through. Look at you guys, you're from all over the place. Ah, Chris, you made it. Well done. Oh, you're in Abergavenny. That's where you currently are, shall we say. Dude, I saw that fry up you had. And all I can say is I feel really sorry for that toilet tomorrow morning. You devastator. Right, who have we got here? Well, we got someone else from Canada. Mary, like I said, Trudeau is going to be gone by Christmas. Yep, you heard it here first. Don't worry. That son of a gun's going to be down the Kermit and Frog Toad Road. He's going. It's all good. Right, okay then. So we're going to ease up on where you guys are, because we could be here all night really doing this, can't we? And what else is there? So if I can find out how to take that off the screen, just like that. Yes. So what else was there? I recently done an overnight camp. Yes, first one this year. I know it's taken so long, and that video is going to be up tomorrow night. So if you haven't got anything to do, or you're a bit bored, if you really want a really cool chill out, I'll tell you what, mate, there's a really cool overnight video coming. If I may say so myself, as I was editing it, I was thinking, this is awesome, because I've done some new lighting at night time, and trying to film at night time in the woods is a nightmare, but I've cracked it. I'll tell you what, it's come out awesome. It really has. You won't see the nighttime stuff in part 1. That'll be in part 2. I'm going to try and edit it tomorrow, so it will probably be up Sunday night. Okay. So yeah, if you've been itching to see me do an overnight camp, yes, sir, you will be seeing me. Oh, I just noticed something up there. Oh my God. This is awesome. This is from JH. I'm not going to say your surname. Thank you very much for that kind donation, sir. There's a message too. Happy Easter, Funky. Thank you for all you do. We are regular Friday watchers. Keep up the good work. With very best wishes from Da and Da. Bye, little Funky and Egg. Oh, man. That's awesome. Really appreciate that. He's stirring. Right, where are we? Yes. And as I said earlier, welcome to the new moderators. The channel is growing, and I set out about 20 or 30 moderators, but it only appears that, say, 3 or 4 of them are regulars. So I needed to up it a little bit. And I did hear some comments from people just saying they've been blocked or deleted, and I don't know which ones have been blocked or deleted from the channel. I've got no idea. It's just so much going on. So I do apologize if anyone has been blocked. If you can send me an email, I'll see if I can get that reinstated. So yeah, there's been a bit of a reshuffle with the moderators, and there's some really cool new ones coming on to the already cool ones as well. So welcome to the new moderators. You will see the blue spanner on the screen in the chat, and yes, it's all good in the hood. And what else have we got? Yes, I believe my mate Andy said earlier about the poll, and when I checked the poll before I come on air, I can't say what it is currently, but when I come on, it was 97%. And the question was have you got concerns about these fighting age male migrants over here in the UK? Have you got any concerns about it? And let me tell you this, 97% is by far a landslide, an overwhelming majority. So yes, and let me tell you this, from the research that I've been doing, all of those 20-odd tabs all opened on the top of my screens, preloaded videos, and we've got some stuff to show on the screen in this presentation. Like I say, this is my job, and this is it. This is what I do. So I just literally spent the last 2 days sorting this for tonight. And yes, you're not wrong, okay? You have a right to be concerned, and we're going to go through all of that very, very shortly. So what we're going to do now is we are going to look upon this. Now, this is something, it's quite difficult. It could be very hard for some people to digest, but based on the analysis and how all of this has been panning out, based on all of the different sources of intel which are coming my way, people that I spoke to on the phone, people I've emailed, and people have actually spoke in person about this. Not just in Wales, because I've been traveling around a bit lately. That's why there's not been much videos. And based on what I see, and this thing which I'm going to show on the screen in a few seconds from now, it really does seem to be making sense. But you would only understand it if you've indeed done your own research. If you've got no research about this topic tonight, it might be a bit of a shock. Okay, so we're going to put it on the screen right now. Okay, now I want you to read this with me. Now, this has come from a source quite a while ago now, which led me to really kickstart this investigation of what's going on in our country. I've had members of the Black Watch Regiment, which are indeed up in Scotland, reach out to me who are training these young men in the west of Ukraine. They're primarily officer ranks down to sergeant. They are then transferred from their place of training in Anatolia or west of Ukraine all the way over to France. I've heard stories of them in Belgium and some parts of Germany also with this going on. They signed the Official Secrets Act, which indeed I have done a long time ago, and some of you guys in the mob as well. They're shipped over with the immigrants and with a scattering of refugees. So that pretty much sets the flavour for what we're actually talking about. Okay, now there has been quite a few people who have commented and left me messages talking about just this sort of thing. It is by no way a coincidence that all of this is happening. I believe, and indeed I should imagine some of you watching right now agree, that this have been planned for a long time ago, and it's quite scary. Okay, so I just want to see, I'm going to jump into the chat and I just want to get a general feel of what I've just showed you guys. Okay, yes, it is. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. So yes, right, okay. So who remembers when I've done that live stream with my dad and we spoke about this migrant situation coming over to here, and at that point in time they were going into hotels over here. Now my dad, like I said in previous videos on occasion, he is a serious military historian, and he knows an awful lot about tactics when it comes to conventional warfare. Okay, right back from the Great War right up to pretty much present. Okay, yes, he's probably not as au fait as some of us are about drone warfare and all that sort of stuff, but when it comes to areas of interest, strategic importance, areas within a country which would be a good idea to capture and to hold. Don't forget, if some of you guys remember what happened in the Falklands, it was strategic importance to capture certain places of that island to progress through that battle, which indeed we won. So I want you to see this on the screen now. Now, this I believe to be up to date as from 6 days ago. So there might even be more to this right now. So we are looking at all of the locations, just hotels. Okay, this is just hotels in the UK, not houses, not MOD sites. These are just hotels which are holding male only migrants. Okay, not the refugees, not the asylum seekers, not the women and the children and the disabled and the obese, just men of fighting age. These are where they are currently here in the UK. I know it shocked me as well. It really, really did. So what you indeed are looking at now on the screen are locations where migrants are currently in hotels in our country right now. Like I say, this was 6 days old, so there could be a few more added to that. And we're going to touch on some of the reasoning behind why I say that in just a few moments' time as we surf through this presentation. It's pretty damn frightening when you actually look at that. I know it shocked me when I saw it too. And yes, it is pretty nuts. So let this go down. It's going to be quite difficult because trying to get this in some sort of order is going to be quite arduous. So you're going to have to bear with me while I get these sort of things done. I'll tell you what, let me just take off some of these which are no longer needed. Okay, so we don't need that, we don't need that. Oh, we don't need that one because we've gone through that. Not that one. Right, do you know what? Here's the thing. This one's quite interesting. Now, I want you to... Now, we'll do that a bit later. Sorry, like I say, it's important this is done in some sort of order, okay? So just bear with me. We're going to crack on with this in a sec. Let me try and find which one it is because there's so many, okay? We're going to be talking about RAF Scampton very shortly too. So some of you guys know what's going on in that. We've got some interesting updates about what's been going on there. And I'll tell you what, let's start off with a bit of good news, okay? If I can find it on here. Oh man, it's so hard to navigate through all of these tabs. So trying to think what it looks like. Was it that one? Oh, this is difficult. Right, okay, so it's that one. Yes, right. Who remembers when we was talking about the Migrant hotel in Newquay, which I covered the night before the protest, okay? So that video done very well and lots of people shared it. And it seems to have made an impact. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the only one. There was a few of us involved in exposing this and trying an experiment to see how far it would go. Now, like I say, the more people that share these videos, the better, because believe it or not, it does have an impact. Okay. When I done the expose about the Pontins, I think it was, over in the north of England, that absolutely got overturned and no migrants were there. So I want you to see this. Look at this. All migrants moved out of the Newquay hotel. So do you remember when I covered this? And there was the protest going to be the next day. And like I said, the video went very, very well. All of these migrants are now out of the hotel. They have gone. Okay. So what that means, from how I see it, is a very small victory in this battle that we're fighting. And be under no illusion, people, this is a battle. The bottom line is, I believe, and I suspect many of you watching right now believe that this country is slowly being invaded by a stealth force. Well, not so much stealth because everyone knows, but yes, it is pretty much a Trojan horse. Now, if you disagree with me, that's fine. But like I say, you're not the one privy to loads of information from all over, from different sources, high up, and some of them are just regular guys and girls in houses of what they're seeing. And when you start putting these pieces of jigsaw puzzles together, it really does look like that this is a Trojan horse moving into the UK. So look at this. It is fantastic to see that these are absolutely gone. Okay. Now, when we just scroll down here, indeed. So if you look, right, this is quite an interesting picture for you guys. I want you to look at this. Now, do you remember on the live stream I'd done before this protest the night before, when I showed the maps and street view? I believe that there'd be cameras up on top of there, monitoring all of this. All of the Antifa and all of the Hope Not Hate guys are there, which are guarded by the police. And the very few amount of people which did turn up stood over there. Okay, so why are there not loads of police all the way over here? These look like there's police there, there's police there, there's police there, there's police there. These look like they're guarding this hotel and all of these protesters, where the likes of you and I are just sick and tired of seeing this happen on our own doorstep turned out to voice their opinions, which they have got an absolute right to do so. Okay, so that's pretty much a true representation. Okay, the police and Antifa are on one side, and all of us guys seem to be opposing. So I thought that was a quite an interesting keynote there, based on how much you guys are sharing this content. Okay, because like I say, we really need to make people aware of what's going on, and this does look like it's rolling forward. And yes, we may win a few victories like we've done there. And I know you're going to get naysayers, you're going to get negative people, and they say, oh, but they've got to go somewhere. They're going to end up somewhere else. But it's not the point. The point is, it's a positive step forward in showing that people power does work. Okay, that is the whole point. When people come together, when they spread information, when they actually turn up, or they do things like email councils or MPs, etc., it does make a difference. If you don't do anything about any of this, guess what? Nothing happens, and the situation will get worse. So the naysayers who say they're just going to go somewhere else, it just is what it is. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. So where are we going to be going? Like I say, there's so many. In actual fact, it's easier for me to just scroll across the top of the screen here. Right. So. Insane. Oh my days, there's so much stuff going on. Right, it's the letter G. Right, so we're gonna screen share this one right now. Now look at this. I want you to read this with us. So what have we got here? This is from the left newspaper, The Guardian, which is quite comical, really. But it's interesting to see what comes out nonetheless. Now, the date is always important. I'm always going to tell you if it's current or old. So look at this, the 25th of March. Okay, so it's just over a week old, this article which come out. Now look at this. Asylum seekers in UK face being moved to army bases or disused ferry. That's the report. Okay, so look at this. Army bases. That's a very important point to note, because we're going to go through some of this and show you some things. It just goes on and on and on. So look at this. It follows, I might as well highlight it, I think. Oh, it's a good highlighter. It follows controversy over the potential use, look at this, potential use of RAF Scampton associated with dam busters. Absolutely, we've done a video on this already covering this. A meeting this week near Lincolnshire Air Base heard about 1,500 migrants, sorry, not asylum seekers, and they're all going to be male, by the way. That's absolutely true. So they're not asylum seekers like you would expect, men, women, and children. Could be housed in accommodation, including temporary cabins on the former runway. That's disgusting. The site was home to the Red Arrows as well till 2018. Yes, which we reported on. Now, wow, look at this. Wow. I'll tell you what's interesting when we come onto the barge in a minute. You'll like some mathematics about that one. Okay. Look at this far right group, Patriotic Alternative. Far right. Yes, we've talked about being branded as far right. It's absolutely hideous. I would say the majority of people watching this are definitely not far right extremists. Okay, like I say, it's the verbiage that the mainstream media, which is the governmental and above mouthpiece, and yes, they are going to use strong language. They always have, and they probably always will. And in fact, I can only see the language strength getting stronger as we progress through this decade of craziness. Yeah, insane. So with that being said, we talked about that. Now, I pulled this up earlier. So if we can find the government one, because this is interesting. Right, this one's interesting. So let me see if I can find it on the screen share. 1,500. Welcome, everybody. Working away here. Fact sheet. Right. Yes. This is this. Yes. Right. We're going to look at this and then we're going to go on to the next screen. Okay. So this is from the government website. Okay. But be under no illusion. This has been updated the 5th of April. So this is 2 days old. Okay. Don't forget, we always highlight our source material. So this is straight from the Home Office, from the government here in the UK, 2 days ago. What is MOD Wethersfield? Okay, the Ministry of Defence, MOD Wethersfield. This is Braintree in Essex, right? Which we'll come on to that in a minute. Look at this. This is quite interesting. We are working closely with stakeholders. Wow. Including local authorities and our contractors to ensure that accommodation for those seeking asylum is suitable. So they're already looking at this site here. Okay. So who would be accommodated, etc. Look at this. I'm not joking. The amount of people who has had a pop at me saying, these are asylum seekers. They're fleeing from Syria. They got kids and their wives and girlfriends with them. Look at this. Who will be accommodated? Single adult male asylum seekers. Okay, if they're seeking asylum from a war-torn country, where are all their girlfriends? Where are all their children? Based on that slide that we saw at the foot of this presentation, lots of people are being trained overseas, coming here amongst these seemingly innocent people, highly trained. They are going to be literally doing recon or recce in the areas which they are being housed. They are going to be going down alleyways, looking at where all the cameras are, really getting a good feel from it, and indeed learning English as well. Okay, like me and Jason spoke about in the live stream recently, it's pretty much sleeper cells, if you want to call it that. It's just insane. And here, like I said before, this all seems to be part of a plan. Okay, if you think this is all just happenstance, not a chance. This is definitely planned. And if you can't see the plan by now, as we're presenting this, you seriously need to have a look at it. If you think this is BS, it's definitely not BS. It's not fear porn as well. This is actually what's going on. MOD Wethersfield will provide accommodation for asylum seekers and is designed to be self-sufficient as possible, helping to minimize the impact on local communities and services. So they put them all into hotels, they're threatening, and indeed they're putting them into houses. It's causing a big ruckus. Problem, reaction, solution. They've already got places to put them in, these MOD sites. Okay, look at this. Now this is interesting. I want you guys to look at this website on occasion, like I'm going to do. How long will asylum seekers be accommodated at MOD Wethersfield? Now look at this. It says here, we are assessing how long asylum seekers will be accommodated at MOD Wethersfield. I bet you any money that this does not change for a long time. The only way that this is going to change is if people share videos like this and other people exposing what's going on, to get as many people as possible to be privy to this information. And the more that the government realize and find out that they're getting emailed or they're getting MPs speak to those higher up in Parliament, when they get aware that yes, the cat's at the bag, the lots of the public are literally questioning this, then they might change this with some sort of date. But I suspect that what I've highlighted there is going to remain so for a long, long time. Now look at this. They also, just for this one site alone, look at nearly 2,000 male-only migrants are going to be jammed in that training facility, that MOD site. Okay, that's crazy. That is an awful lot of people. Okay, that is a lot of people. In a company, in the British Army, you're looking at about 100 people. Look at that. That's insane. What about the local people? Basically, they might as well say, we don't care. That's all that actually means, because if they would care, they wouldn't even contemplate it, never alone actually go ahead and do these things. Are people able to come and go as they please? Self-contained, all those lows living on a site, look at that, will be free to come and go, like we're going to touch on in a minute with a barge based offshore down in Dorset. Absolutely, they will be free to do this, to come and go. Okay. the Immigration Act 1999. Yeah, the way that's looking, that is going to be updated as well, because this is absolutely happening at break speed now. And there is an awful lot of objections going against what they are trying to achieve here. Will vulnerable people be accommodated? Blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't have thought so, to be honest, because they're all fit fighting age males, and I don't think there's going to be any vulnerable within that. Okay. MOD. Here we go. This is interesting. To ensure security forms an integral part of the proposed site, a specialist security provider, probably Serco, okay, will be working on a site 24/7, introducing messages such as mobile CCTV units. Now, why would they want mobile CCTV? Why would they want to do that? Especially when these guys are coming and going freely outside of this facility. It's sickening. I mean, like I say, this is what the government are saying. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're literally coming out and saying all of this. When will this be open? Look at this. Physical works to mobilize the site will begin shortly. Okay, so that is going to be this year. All right. So yeah, it just goes on and 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 on. Okay. Yeah, quite shocking. I know it really, really is what's going on. So we mentioned it earlier, if I can find it. Now, what I'm going to do is every time I read out one of these, I'm going to have to delete the page, because there's just so many up here. It's nuts. Okay, I'll tell you what I want to do. I'm thinking now I'm going to jump straight on to this. Now, I waited to enough people in here. So there's 1,500 people watching right now. So if you are local to this place, you need to share this and do what you can to turn up. I'm going to put it on the screen now. There is a protest going on tomorrow. All right. So it's the 8th of April. I'm glad they said the 8th of April, not April 8th, because the 8th of April is correct in date format. Right. So this is 10 o'clock tomorrow. Okay. This is located on the residence entrance to Scampton, not the base entrance. So this is RAF Scampton. Okay. RAF Scampton. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that off the screen now. And again, we are going to show you. So I could be wrong, but this is what I believe where the meeting site is going to be. So what you are looking at now, right, is RAF Scampton. Okay. And bearing in mind, like I said, look at this image capture, December 2021. All right. And this is Google 2023, but they haven't updated it. They have not updated it. So this is what this looked like a few years ago, right? So if you are planning on turning up to do a protest, do not gather here. Do not come to this part. Some of you guys might turn up there by mistake, but rest assured, it's not too much of a problem, because if you're looking at the gates, all you do is you turn left and down this road. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go for a little walk down this road, okay? And if you do end up doing this, there is a pavement on this side. Don't be walking along here on the main road. Doesn't make sense. It's a silly thing to do. Okay, so we just keep going and keep going. Like I said, luckily there's a pavement still there. So it does look like where the meeting place is going to be, right here. Now, here it is. Unfortunately, for some weird reason, they've got no road signs, what this road is called. But I believe it's called Scampton Road or Scampton Lane or something like that. But I do believe that this is where the protest group are going to be gathering around. This is the entrance to the residential area. Okay, so like we saw earlier, Scampton's just a little bit out there to the RAF base, but down here, this is where I believe that the meeting is going to take place. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow, and they're expecting quite a few people to arrive there tomorrow. right? So if you are going, or you're thinking of going, or you've just watched this and think, you know what, I'm going to drive the half an hour to get there. I want to be amongst this, because let me tell you this, RAF Scampton has got significant historical importance. Now, what I would like to do now, based on what I've just showed you, is show you a couple of short videos. One of them's a minute and one of them's 4 minutes. So I want you to watch this real quick.
It was where the 617 Squadron was formed. So I don't think the base should be completely converted into something else. The heritage of Scampton needs to stay there.
It's important that the squadron and its history is remembered, and yes, ideally it would be in where it started, but as long as the history is retained, that's the important bit.
The community here is never going to forget that history. It will be always associated with Scampton, the spiritual home of 617 Squadron.
So my dad, who's here, was an important member of that particular crew.
Memories will always be preserved, and there are a lot of excellent people to deal with that kind of question.
Don't forget, if it wasn't for these brave men and women back in the day, we would be speaking German right now. 100% guarantee it. So we really need to make sure that we do something, okay? Now, the next one I'm going to show you quickly, and yes, I know it's beer o'clock coming soon, so we're going to quickly watch this and go over a few petitions, and then we can have a little break for 2 minutes and crack on, because we've got lots more. In fact, this live stream might go on for a bit longer, okay? So let's roll these.
It is a major part of Lincolnshire's military history, but in less than 4 months' time, RAF Scampton will close. Guy Gibson's dam busters flew from the base during the war, and more recently it's been home, of course, to the Red Arrows. Today there have been celebrations at the RAF base and in the neighbouring village to mark that heritage. Our reporter Joe Makel is there at the moment. How are people feeling about this closure?
Well, Peter, I would say there's been a mixture of pride and sadness, and of course lots of questions about what is going to happen to this site once it actually closes. You have got a real sense today of this site not just being important to the people who already live and work here, but to the community around them, and indeed to Lincolnshire as a whole. But of course the RAF is trying to modernise not just its culture, but in terms of where it's based, it's trying to save money. But with all that going on, today has really been a day to look back with pride at RAF Scampton's history. Marching to commemorate the past and towards a new future for the people who live and work at RAF Scampton. This officially marked the closure of the base. A fly past included the iconic Lancaster bomber and 6 of the Red Arrows. It hasn't been an easy few weeks for people here. There's been criticism of the culture in the RAF and allegations of misconduct levelled at previous members of the elite acrobatic team. But today the focus was on pride in the base and its history.
Watching the Lancaster go over, it just reminds you of the courage, dedication and innovation of those that have gone before. To be able to celebrate other people who've walked this ground before us, who've influenced the future, it does make me really proud.
Open since before World War I and the birth of the RAF, in the Second World War, Scampton was home to the famous 617 Dambuster Squadron. In the Cold War, it had the nuclear-armed Vulcan bomber, and for the past 2 decades has been home to the Red Arrows. That rich history is now embodied in the village church in a new stained glass window.
We've always been the Church of RAF Scampton, that we remember the squadrons and all the personnel who served there. Lots of people in the village have already spoken to me and said how sad they are that RAF Scampton's closing. So it's a very sad day in history.
John and Margaret came to listen. His father was in the RAF for 47 years and worked at Scampton.
What a beautiful historic station. Classic layout, as these stations often are, linked to so many around here, but a wonderful representation of what Lincolnshire did.
Annette Edgar helped to set up the Save Scampton campaign. They'd like to see it preserved and turned into a living museum, still with a working runway.
Don't you think that having RAF Scampton as a living, working aviation museum site, call it what you will, would be the best memorial to the people who served in the RAF in Lincolnshire?
There's no clear decision about what will happen to the base. The RAF is working on it being vacant by March next year. I've heard the same comments several times today. People are concerned that this site will be simply handed over and be developed with housing, and that history will be erased. And a number of people have said to me today they really don't want that to happen. The MOD won't be drawn on what the future holds. They say they're still in discussions with the local council. What we do know is that the personnel will be moving out over the autumn, including the Red Arrows, who of course are moving to RAF Waddington. Peter.
Joe, thank you very much today. It won't be the same, will it, driving to Lincoln, wondering whether you see the Red Arrows?
Terrible. Absolutely gutting what's going on. It seriously is. So, right, with that being said, something quite interesting to show you now. So, looking into what's been going on at Scampton, there are a few things which we can do. One of them is this. Look at this. We need to make sure that we get this over 10k. Okay. So, like I say, if this video gets shared, absolutely this can work. This is already in the process for me to go in. Okay. And you just sign it along there like this. And like I say, we've got 7,726 who've already signed this. And all you need to do is just put a few details in there. Now, the link is below this video for that. And if you haven't already seen, if you're watching this in a replay, there is lots and lots of links below this video, which I'll, in part of my research, I'll put down there for you guys to look into too, based on what I've covered and based on all of these sorts of things as well. There is also another one, which I believe is 38. This one here, there is another petition, okay, to save RAF Scampton, and that only requires 2,000 signatures. So the more people who sign all of this and literally get that up and running, the better it's going to be. Because like I say, all of the links are below this, so it's really easy and quick for you guys to look into that, okay? And like I said, this isn't the only RAF places. I want you to look at this. This one is quite interesting too. Absolutely unbelievable. So yes, there are going to be migrants moving here, which we're going to touch on in a sec. So like I say, I wouldn't personally like to be living near that, because that is indeed a prison which has been derelict for a long time, and now going to spend an absolute fortune doing it up. So look at that house on the left. People live there right now. How are they going to feel when all of that is just turned into God knows what they're going to be getting up to there? It's going to be nuts. In fact, I won't put it past those people to actually take the offer from Serco, sell up and move away, because no one's going to want to be looking directly over that site with that drone footage there about that prison, which we're going to come onto in a sec. So whilst all that was going on, oh wow, we've got Lucy on PayPal, bless you, and Elizabeth. Lucy and Elizabeth, thank you for them donations on there. We're just going to drop into the chat real quick. And oh, we've lost about 100 people since I've been playing in videos. So Okay, fair dues. Maybe not everyone watched the videos, so that's cool. No problem. So it's that time, real quick. Yes, sir. We need a break, and we've got Uncle Henry again, our learned friend. Honestly, if we need to get somewhere, that's good juice right there. So we're going to crack open that one. And let me just get this straight. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, everyone needs a break, don't they? So yeah, we're going to be going on to that barge in a sec, and I've been doing some sums, and I'm going to show you live about exactly how much this is all costing us, the gullible taxpayer, if you want to call us that. You can dress it up or ham it up any way you want. Cheers, everybody. Hope you're all well. Oh, I do like that stuff. Yeah, that is an absolute far cry from woodpecker, if you know what I mean. So yeah, absolutely awesome. Right, let's go through. Right, where were we? Yes, more screen share stuff. So who's the first? Carol. Cheers. Epic. I hope you guys are well. So we are going to look into share screen again. Now let me just try and think what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm going to take away some of the things which I've been sharing. We'll take away that one. This is good because this is making it a lot easier for me to navigate through all of these, because let me tell you this, it's nuts. It's nuts, it really is nuts. Every time I see that guy, I want to do something bad. Right, I think it was that one. Oh, that one. We've covered that one. That's gone. Right, so it's the only one left. Excuse me. Okay, so while we're on the subject of Scampton, we're going to run through that now. Okay, so let me see where it is. It's the one with the so the preparations are underway. So this is from Lincoln, okay, one of their local rags up there. So the headline: Migrant camp preparations underway. So like I say, these petitions absolutely do mean a lot. Now look at this. This is where that sign had been for a long time. They've taken it down. They've put bollards in there. The work is absolutely starting. Okay, so like I say, that protest is going ahead tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if you can get there, it's really appreciated that as many people go there as possible. I do believe there's going to be local press covering it too. So if there's a big turnout, it's going to be a general representation of the feeling about all of these fighting age males taking over this historical English landmark, which most of us are all very, very proud of. Okay. Noticeable changes. Ooh, oh, that's sickening. So where we go on. So we're looking at this. Up to 2,000. They call it asylum seekers, but yes, we know it's migrants. Look at this. Site investigation specialists have already been spotted on site. So there's already been like parties in there measuring up, etc., doing surveys and all of that sort of thing. So we are going to go through this. Look at this. This is awesome. These banners, by the way. Look at that. Save our Scampton. So that is a hashtag. If you can see that there, it's probably worth looking into online. Look, that's true. They fought for us. Now we need to fight for them. Signing a petition is very, very easy. Going there is a bit more difficult. Actually doing anything further as we go down the road is going to be a lot more difficult, but that's a story for another day. So yes, they believed it at 2018, they were closing it, etc., etc., etc. Wow. Look at this. Oh. In total, there'll be 3,700 men housed across RAF Scampton and other surplus military site in Wethersfield in Essex. Okay, so we're going to go on to that in a bit. Now, this is the guy here, Robert Jenrick, that guy there. Now, his wife, I think, was Israeli and is high up in the courts. So, yeah, a bit of background about that guy. Yes, a formidable partnership, and they do seem to be doing a lot of shaking right now. Yeah, it's terrible because, like I said, there was a project, right? And if I can find it, I'll show you that later, that they planned an amazing overhaul of this whole site. Now, this guy and his cronies have literally scuppered the whole thing. So when I find the page in a sec, I'll show you it. And there's been artist impressions about the plans were to preserve this very amazing, awesome RAF site. Okay, so where are we? Let me see what we got. So this. Now, yes, I'll tell you what, we're going to go on to this now because I'm only going to forget it. Now, this is something I found out recently. The headline was that the UK government, they're looking for MOD sites to house fighting age male migrants in the UK. So far, there's 2, plus a prison, plus a floating barge. Okay, so I want you to contemplate this concept, which I looked into earlier. All right, now if I can find it, here it is. Now you go into Wikipedia, right, and it's got a list of former Royal Air Force stations. Okay, and it goes through all of them there. But what I thought we'd do is, it says on here the year it opened and the year it closed. So if we put the year it closed, okay, so we're going to be starting from the very recent bases which are closed. So this apparently, this has come up on the radar. This is being talked about right now. Okay, RAF Linton on Ouse or Owls, that closed a few years ago, 2020. So what I'm thinking of is, any of you guys that live near these areas in blue, which I'm highlighting now, look into what you are seeing. Okay, so Yorkshire, Fife, North Yorkshire, Ayrshire, Bedfordshire, where the hell is that? Huntingdonshire. Okay, that's Brampton, Cambridgeshire and Bedfordshire, Rutland, Buckinghamshire, Morayshire, Wiltshire. Look at that, RAF Lynham. Unbelievable. I can't believe I'm saying that. So what I wanted to do was, I just went down to the year 2000. So we go to the year 2000, and as you can appreciate, starting from here, Rudloe Manor in Somerset. So you could possibly see dates which closed earlier than the year 2000. I just picked the year 2000 because I would say that the less money that they are going to use in doing these places up, the quicker and easier it's going to be to get these men into these places. The older that these places are, since they've closed down, the more work and the more money they're going to take. So I just put a ballpark line in the sand, got to start somewhere, and we started from the year 2000. So we got all of these sites here. Okay, all of these places have the potential to hold or house these migrants. Look at that, RAF Boscombe Down. Now, I've actually worked there. Wow, it's unbelievable. Oakhanger as well. I'm not going to tell you guys what's going on in RAF Oakhanger, but I suspect that that is not going to be touched. All right, RAF Oakhanger, that's going to be safe. I know that for multiple reasons. I can't say too much about that, but I know that's safe. Okay, Oakhanger, don't worry if you are near there in Hampshire. Brampton, Stafford, St Arthur, Sealand, Courtisor, Dawes Hill, Boddington, Innsworth, Bentley Priory, Alder Grove, Uxbridge, Barkway, Upward, Lynham, Kinloss. That's void, does not exist apparently. Wow, look at that in Rutland. Now that place, wow. Brampton, hello, Brampton again. All of these places, I would say. I can't remember if I put the link underneath this video. I don't think I have, but it's very easy to do. Find this page and go through these down to the year 2000 and watch, ask around of what you are seeing there, okay? Because it does look like that the Ministry of Defence are going into Air Force bases for one, okay? Now, there could be very possible Army bases, training camps, MOD sites, etc. But I thought that was just somewhere to look into, okay, based on my own research. So, yeah, this isn't being discussed in the mainstream media, right? So we're just shutting down some more pages. What's this? Essex locals resent government plan to house asylum seekers. Yeah, we're going to go into that. Another thing, while we're on the subject of Scampton still, if I can find it. Now, I want you to see this if you haven't seen it. This has been breaking today. This is just blown up all over Twitter, okay? RAF Scampton's only shop closes suddenly and staff were not told. And it comes after the Home Office announced up to 2,000 male migrants would be housed at this site. Okay, so here it is there. There's a shop. It's one of those shops that sell pretty much everything. Okay, so we're going to read on very briefly through this article. RAF Scampton's only shop has closed its doors following confirmation that the base will be used to house thousands of migrants. The cost cutter store at Polyplat Lane reportedly shut on the 31st of March, so that was 7 days ago, meaning that the village locals will have to travel at least 3 miles to get to the nearest shop in a place called Welton. Now, some of you might think, well, it's only 3 miles, but let me tell you this. If you're elderly or you're infirm, there's no way you can physically get to 3 miles for essentials like bread, milk, etc. That can be a serious, massive thing which has just happened. But to make it more disgusting, look at this. A sign displayed on the door reads, "Our contract to run cost cutter store at RAF Scampton has now come to an end. Therefore, this store is now closed. We are very sorry for any inconvenience." Mate, that has impacted so many people in that local area. Okay, we read on. It is believed that the staff were giving little to no notice at all as officials from the Ministry of Defence, the building owners, arrived at the site and closed it there and then. They have since been spotted emptying stock from the premises. Now that is one very small example of how much the government love and care for you. No notice. It's had a big impact on all of the locals. Now they've got to travel 3 miles. What if they haven't got a car? What if it's cold, it's snowing, it's raining, etc.? That little lifeline is just gone, all because they are paving the way for these fighting age male migrants in this country when the overwhelming majority of the British public are against them being here in the first place. Honestly, something's going to change. This is just getting squeezed so much now. Right, so here we go. We've got a councillor involved. This is Roger Patterson, who lives in the village. He said, before this, nobody said anything about it closing. It just happened. They didn't even tell the staff, which is what is really grating people. They didn't even tell the staff. They just turned up and says, no, closed. That is just, yeah, that is sickening what they're doing there. It really is. There's just no respect. There really isn't. I think that's what winds me up the most. Right. Where are we now? I want to see the date. Sorry, I'm just looking at the article on here. Right. Yeah, cool. So that is the next one to show, screen share. So we are going on to this one here. Like I said, they'll always reveal the source. This is the Mail Online, but be under no illusion. Here is the date, which I highlighted, the 19th of January, 2022. So just over 1 year ago that this was put out in the press. Okay, Army will build camps to house 30,000 migrants. As it emerges, the Ministry of Defence could stop releasing figures on how many are crossing the channel each day. Look at that. Let that sink in. The Ministry of Defence could, yeah, what about fudge the figures? Stop releasing figures on how many are crossing the channel each day. All right. So we're going to scroll down if I can find it. Oh, this thing, incidentally, the barge. Yeah, we're going to get onto that in a sec. If you don't know what's been going on, that'll blow your bloody noodle apart, that will. I think it was this page where it's got the graph. Well, this is a different graph, but yeah. Look at this. Look at the rate on rise. Look at that. 28,000. Now, obviously, we believe this figure to be a lot more than this, okay? But I just wanted to show you that real quick because when you see that going that way, it's nuts. And we're going to go into that one quick. Check this out. Migrants to be housed in military homes while 2,500 Brit veterans stay homeless. Now, that there, veterans stay homeless. Now, I understand 100% that is going to seriously upset an awful lot of people. You guys watching this and you guys sharing it on Facebook, etc. It really is. I mean, it's one of them things that are close to a lot of our hearts. Some of us, when we go out in the high street and we see the homeless, they got pieces of cardboard and veterans, etc. Now, obviously, not all of them are veterans, but the majority of them are. Some of them are claiming to be veterans, but it's quite easy to find out whether indeed they're a veteran or not. Okay, if you know what to say and how to say it, you can find out who the Walter Mitties are very easily. Now, look at this. Senior Home Office sources revealed a proposal could lead to 500 military homes being used to help government fight the wider logjam of asylum seekers waiting decisions on their claims. And that's just, oh, it really boils my pee. It seriously does. Look at this. Hundreds of military homes have been set aside for migrants. Wow. Well, 2,500. Well, it's going to be more than that, I think. British veterans do not have a roof over their head. The government has been forced to look at the accommodation amid growing resistance to use of hotels, B&Bs, holiday camps. Do you remember when we covered that one in Pontins? We talked about, done a video some while ago. In the backlog of, look at that, 143,000 asylum seekers. I suspect this figure to be an awful lot higher of what they are publicly declaring. That's just my own personal opinion. Yeah, it's just sickening what's going on there. We're going to go on to that barge in a sec. Okay, so we're just going through this. Yeah. This is what I wanted to find. Here we go. The No Homeless Veterans campaign, very important, which is backed by former Olympic athlete and ex-Army Sergeant Dame Kelly Holmes, estimates that there are currently more than 2,500 homeless veterans. And the Royal British Legion, who personally I've done some charity work for before, says as many as 6% of rough sleepers are veterans, which would make the tally as high as 4,000. 4,000 UK military veterans sleeping rough in this country while all of these hotels and accommodation is literally being laid on for free. Well, it's not free, is it? It's our money. The taxes that we're paying, Most of it is council tax, believe it or not, is going to fund all of this. It's just nuts. And obviously, we know how it works. The Bank of England borrow money from the central bank at interest, and we pay it all back. It happens every 18 months, 2 years. Look what happened in 2020, the amount of money the government borrowed from central banks. And guess what? 1.5, 2 years later, look how much things are costing. So all of this money, which the government are borrowing and paying to have all of these migrants over here, which are not welcome on the whole. They are not welcome here. There's plenty of other countries around the world with a lot more space than what we've got. They can go there. We don't want them over here. We're voting for these people, some of us, I don't personally, and paying taxes. And where's it all going? It's going to keep our veterans on the street and all of these fighting age male migrants coming over here, living the freaking life of Riley, by all intents and purposes. It just winds me right up. So we're going to, I think this was the article here. So here we go. We're going to do some sums. You're going to like this. Right. Check this out. So here is news. This is 1 day ago. Okay. Recent as you like. A barge to house 500 male migrants off the Dorset coast, says the government. And here it is. Isn't she a thing of beauty? I know. Insane. Apparently that is full up. That is ram-packed already. Okay. It is full. So when we scroll down here, look at this. It's got 220 rooms. It's been refurbished. Okay. And it also has ensuite bathrooms, a spa, a gym. And guess what? It is okay for these migrants to walk around Portland, which is where this vessel is going to be moored. Okay. Absolutely insane. Look at that. £6 million a day. That's what they're saying. Look at this. Housing migrants in hotels cost more than £6 million every single day. Every day. Oh my days. So let me go. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 352 equals, oh my god, I just done the sums. That works out at 2.1 billion a year. 2.1 billion pound a year. That's if they're being honest, which I highly suspect they are not. That's our taxpaying money there. Well, what are we getting in return? Crap. That's what we're getting in return. So here it is. That's where it's going to be situated, right down there. It's a beautiful little area down there as well, down the south. I'm just trying to find where I saw some of the sums. It might not even be this article, but we will find it and I will show you. It just goes on to say asylum backlog policy, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Let me see, where is it? Was it this one? Honestly, there's so many articles, it's nuts. Wasn't that one? What's this one? Yeah, we've done that one. Right, how are you guys doing? You keeping up? I know, it's bloody bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. Right, where is it? Wow. Damn it. That's just insane. I'll tell you, we're looking at all this stuff. Man, it's bloody mind-blowing. It really is. Right. So, yes, it is literally working out, what was it? £1.75 million, which the government has given the council, Dorset, where Portland is, to have that there. for 1 year. And do you think that money is going to be reinvested into the community? Do you think there's going to be no more potholes? Do you think there's going to be more safety, etc., more things being repaired, more services available, lower costs for people, more dentists, more doctors, better healthcare? No, I don't think there will be. And I'll tell you what, the way this is looking, you know, I really do feel that what we've been seeing in France recently is definitely going to be happening over here. And I do think at the rate that this is ramping up, of all these different things sort of culminating in literally, pardon my French, pissing a lot of people off here in the UK, at some point they're going to crack. Everyone's got the limit. And I do predict that we are going to be looking at early to midsummer of this really just going through the roof, and it's going to start in London. Okay. Like I said, I don't know if my brother's on here. If he is, if you're watching, mate, we're shooking it. And yes, when there is a massive protest in London, me and him are going to be going there. And I've had emails and saying, like, you know, oh, let me know where you're going to go and we'll meet up. Yeah, maybe it will. Maybe there will be a funky posse, as it were, heading to London. I'll probably film it as well. I'll see if I can get one of those GoPro cameras, which incidentally, I did do a GoFundMe campaign on Ko-fi. That's been set aside for that. So we're waiting for that to materialize. And when that turns up, yes, I'm going to London. And it'd be cool if I could live stream the whole lot. Because you know what? A lot of that stuff gets censored. So it'd be interesting to see how far I can push that. Showing you guys the truth of what goes on in these protests in and around London town. So yes, where is it? I forgot to see there. Like I said, if you're new to this channel, you know, the donation thing's absolutely awesome. Like I say, you don't have to, but it really, really helps. So, excuse me, let me try and find it. Essex. Yeah, I can't remember if I showed you. See, what I have to remember in future is when I do these presentations, every time I present one, I should delete it. It's very hard to remember which ones I've shown and which ones I haven't, because they're all quite similar. So what we're going to do, we're going to go for broke anyway, and we're going to go for it. So this is indeed, wow, there twice. Okay. Whoa. Now this is in Essex. Okay, so we're not just talking about Scampton, right? This is another thing. And like I said recently, lots of things are happening from the 1st of April. And indeed, they've Americanized it for April 1st. No, it's the 1st of April. Get it right, you guys. So yes, the MOD, Ministry of Defence, Police, as soon as the 1st of April. So this was quite recent. So we're looking at the 23rd, sorry, the 25th. Asylum Centre. This is a place called Wethersfield Airfield. Okay, so there is big local resistance about this, what's been going on. And I know quite a few lads in Essex. And yeah, the Essex guys, they don't take no BS. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Right, trees have been cut down, barriers been put up, windows replaced of disused accommodation blocks. Now look at this, they're indeed thinking of 1,500. They're just going to be put them in there, and it's going to be the same what we saw in the government article. They are going to be all male, and yes, they will be anything from 20 to 40 years old. Don't forget that clip that I showed you right at the beginning of his presentation about one of the reasoning behind how all of this is panning out. Some of these guys are highly trained. Okay, they're not just poor little what's his name fleeing from wherever, who just didn't happen to have any women and children with him. No, no, no. This is looking like a serious Trojan horse rolling down the road here. So this is interesting as well. We spoke about this, right? About the hotels. Now look at this. It's really about the impact of services, doctors, dentists, police, all those things. How's it even going to work? Well, it's a very good point, because let me tell you this, and exactly the same they said about when they used the barge, the floating barge. They're going to be free to roam around. Okay, so yes, Of course, they're going to be using dentists, doctors, hospitals. Do you think they're going to have to wait like we do? Absolutely not. It's actually been put public numerous occasions. They have been given priority order for queues in all services. Yes, I know. It just really rubs people up the wrong way. Look at this. The old airfield is surrounded by fields and only accessed by a narrow country lane without pavements. The nearest village is well over a mile away. So yeah, these blocks are going to be having all those migrants being put in there. So Braintree Council, what are you guys doing? Unbelievable. Like we discussed on earlier, similar concerns about Scampton, 130 miles north. I know, it just goes on. Honestly, the amount of migrants which are going to be put into all of these sites all over the UK, it's just going to go crazy. And like I said, you know, when we looked at all of this before, where all of these places are, key strategic locations, you know, the Ministry of Defence didn't put these bases where they put them just out of, they plucked it out of air. They have got strategic importance. Look at this. It's understood the bases would initially be kept for new arrivals, although it's thought that the idea is part of the government's plan to move asylum seekers out of around 400 hotels currently being used. Wow. The calculations suggest 3,000 soldiers. Yes, I've used that term for the first time. 3,000 soldiers in total will be temporarily housed at Scampton and Wethersfield. Look at that. Would be. Yeah, that sign, that's gone now. Oh, dude, honestly. Yeah, it ain't looking good. Oh, Andy, Essex Andy, thanks for that donation, sir. That's awesome. I don't know if I've missed any because I've been presenting. So if there is, I really do apologise because I always try to thank anyone who's donated. So I really appreciate that, guys. So yeah, where does that leave us then? Where does that leave us with what's going on? So one of the most important things which I only come up with this afternoon when I was deep diving into all of this, like I showed you on the screen share on the Wikipedia site about the locations of all of these disused RAF bases. Okay, like I said, please, if any of you guys are near any of those areas, just have a drive out there, just have a look at what's going on. And if you see anything which is looking towards it's going to be revamped, you know, it's going to be having building contractors there, etc., anything like that, send me an email and I will try and do a video based on what you guys are seeing about that, because I do smell a rat. Don't forget, the government and the media outlets, they're only putting information out there of where they want you to know. They want you to know about Scampton, which I believe they literally just shot a warning shot big time because they knew it had upset people, but they don't care. Like I say, the government don't care. If they did, they wouldn't have done such a massively site of historical importance like Scampton. Do you know, if they really cared, they wouldn't have even brought that up in a meeting. It would be off limits, but they did, and they look like they're doing it. Okay, so they're the ones they want you to look at, and Wethersfield. Okay, them two sites, and indeed that barge that's grabbing all of the headlines. So those three things, okay, that's what I want you to look at. I want you guys to look at those sites going back to the year 2000 when they closed. See what's going on, because I bet you any money you're going to be seeing signs of those being fixed up, as it were. So I have got a bit of time to dive into the chat and see what you guys are up to. Wow, we've got lots of new people in. I don't recognize any of your names. Hi everybody, you new guys who's turned up. Oh, Ben's in here, 4x4 fella. Hi, Ben, if I can find you. I've just seen you with Chris. Chris is enjoying a relaxing time in a caravan in Wales. Bless you. Wow. So yeah, it's good to see people in here. That's awesome. If you've got any questions quickly, capital letters, do it as quick as you can, and we'll see if we can read out some questions. So there's a bit of about 30-second lag, so I'll give you guys a minute to sort that. In the meantime, I'm going through here and seeing what's been going on. How you guys are awesome. Wow. Agenda 2020, 2030. Yeah, Wendy, yeah, you're on point there, sweetie. Essex Andy, honestly, thanks for that donation, brother. I appreciate that. That's cool. Blimey. Yeah, it looks like the theme of the chat is pretty much on point. Wow. There you go. Yep, stop paying TV license and council tax. Well, I've stopped paying the TV license, and very soon, I'm just trying to find time because I've got so much coming on, coming down the pipe in the next week. I will be doing the council tax thing, 100%. Okay, I'm not going to say that on there live and not do it. I'm doing it, and I'm going to keep you guys up to speed of how that progresses. Okay, so that's pretty much cool. So we're going to drop right down. We're going to bring it on down and see if we've got any questions in capital letters. What's his? How do you make a hormone? Honestly, here we go. I'm glad you said that. Cornish cowboy. What can we all do about this? Well, I would say, like I said earlier, those sites that I read out earlier about these retired RAF places, if you're near there, it helps if you're near there, because I wouldn't want anyone traveling out of their way to go there because time and money, etc. But if you live really close, every now and again go up near there. If you've got a dog, great. Dog is a good cover story. You're just walking the dog. If anyone asks, if there's security there, you know there's something up. If there's contractors turning up to do painting or etc. or pointing, that sort of thing, yeah, just walk around with your dog. It's easy, you know, and just look and listen to what's going on. And then the more information that we gather about this, there might even be like we saw earlier on a government website, we might even see government contractor vans, lorries turn up to do these works, and they might be silly enough to use branding on these vehicles. So if we start to see, I don't know, out of those 40 different bases which I read out earlier, all right, 20 as a guess, all right, call it 20, just be conservative, 20 bases which have shut since the year 2000. People are looking at them, what's going on. Out of them 20, if 6 of them have definitely got work just starting on them, just say if we're all using vans and they've all got the same lettering, it's all the same company, that would be interesting, because all of these emails which I get, I can then look into to see who are running these companies, who the shareholders are, where they're getting their funding from, if they've got any movers and shakers in government, so they can sort of win, tender the contracts to give them a route in. We can look at all of the corruption in that, absolutely, and we can start to build a bigger picture of how this is all set up. Another thing, I think it's down to a lot of people with morals, and I do believe we're seeing more morals come into the fore as we go through this crazy decade. So if you're a paint and decorator and they said, right, you know, next week we're starting work at RAF whatever, and then, you know, if you've got any feelings about what I've been saying, just challenge it, say not taking part in it. And if people start actually using morals and actually standing up and saying no, like I said in that video, start getting used to saying no. If it's anything that you're not happy with, I mean, do you want to be a part of making fit for purpose these old sites ready for migrants? Do you want to be a part of that, or do you want to be a part of doing what we can to stop it? Like I say, everyone's got a choice. People need to start saying no more often. That is basically what we do. We just say no to all of this. And the more people, especially some of you guys who are fortunate enough to have time on your hands for whatever reason, they're the guys. I mean, I'll get loads of emails from these guys on a regular basis. They email local councils, they email MPs, and they bombard them with freedom of information requests. And you won't believe the amount of intel that I get back to see what the flavour is about targeting key officials, so we can sort of try and get this thing done. Don't forget the 2 stories which I covered. Okay, the Beresford Hotel in Newquay, the migrants are moving out of there. That place in Pontins up north, migrants are no longer going to be going there. So the more that people share these videos and get it out there to let people know exactly what's going on, that is how we do something about it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that's all you've got to do, and within a year all of the migrants have gone out in the UK. It's not going to happen, but we have to do something. It's very, very difficult to sort of try and put out there on this platform what you can and can't do without overstepping the line and risk smashing this channel away and getting it deleted. It's very difficult, but them sorts of basic steps are a start. Let's put it that way. So let's bring it down. Right, here we go. Oh, yeah, do you know what? You saying it? I just saw a comment about Ireland. Right, here it is. This is from Mr. Malloy again. Check out Derek Bly, Philip. I'm butchering these names. Dwyer and Andy Heisman in Ireland. Yeah, we'll do. Okay, yeah, I've heard of Derek Bly. I've definitely heard of that guy. I think he was in one of the migrant protests, which was covered. Speaking of that, where is it? Not that one. Oh, yeah, here we are. I didn't show this one, did I? Right, just for you guys out in Ireland. Oh, if I can find it, here he is. Yeah, the reason I missed it is because it had that tosspot, him, on there. But yes, this is from the Irish News, okay? So we're looking at this again. This is yesterday, so it's recent, okay? I always try and point that out because some people say, mate, that article is from 2 years ago, you're full of blah, blah. No, this is recent, and that is the proof. The use of barges and RAF sites to house migrants. Evidence of failure from this guy. Now, be under no illusion, this guy has serious contacts, okay? Now, we are looking at problem, reaction, solution, and it is possible that the worst can happen and this guy ends up taking over the UK. It's a nightmare. Like I said, it's a Fabian. I've exposed this guy, same as Tony Blair, and not a good group. So this is what's coming in Ireland, okay? So this is the feel of what's going on out there. 51,000 currently in hotels waiting to be processed. Yeah, it's a lot more than that. So basically is what that Starmer guy is saying. Look at that. Vessel announced to accommodate asylum seekers. Oh, look at all the pretty pictures. Isn't that nice? No, it is definitely not nice. This is from the Home Office official, okay? And yes, you can click on that and it is an official page. It's been verified. And I've clicked on that. It does go there. Lots of replies to that report as well. So I believe I might have put the link under this video to check out all of this. But yeah, it's pretty nuts what's going on. So yeah, basically this is what Ireland are covering all this as well. But it would be nice if we get some more stuff from the Irish News covering about the migrant situation over there. It really would be. Essex Andy, oh my God, thanks for that donation again, dude. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Right, who have we got down here? Let's have a little look-sees. Oh my God, I've just noticed the time. Whoa. And the numbers are dwindling. Wow. Right, Ben, what we got here? Romania farming protest. Romania? No way, they come on board too. I know the Dutch were getting involved in some parts of in Belgium. We had some firefighters from Belgium joining over to the protest in France, more over Paris. Well, it does look like there's a lot of stuff going on in Europe then. You start adding Romania into it as well. Yeah, like I say, the EU is all blanketed under one policy regarding subsidies regarding agriculture. So they're all going to be in the same boat. So yeah, I reckon it's not just going to be Holland. Like Ben says, Romania's joining the party too. Okay, buddy, thanks for that. I'll have a look into that. What else is there? Oh, you do, Essex. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Doesn't look like there's any more. What's this? Oh, right, this is from Emmanuel. Hello, Funky. When are you doing a video with your mini-me? Not going to happen, mate. No, my partner's just... No, she just does not want him on YouTube whatsoever. That's how it is. Yep, absolutely. So, what else? This is from Chrissy Hutchinson. Now, I don't know if you're male or female. I guess that you're female, Chrissy. I love you for saying that. I really do. I'd find out where your politicians live and camp outside their homes. Now, that's a peaceful protest, isn't it? And that they could come outside and say, what are you doing putting a tent on my garden? Just say, well, I really wanted to go on holiday because I love it here. I'm trying to book into a hotel, but they're full up with these migrants. So I found this place and it looked quite nice. So here I am. That'd be good. Yeah, wicked. Right. That looks like a bit of a wrap, guys. So before we shoot off, don't forget overnight tomorrow. It's a cool video, so make sure you watch it. I can't remember. I think it was 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow. So if you're a bit of a loose end and you want some serious chill time, because let's face it, I've suffered a bit myself. It's been a lot of negative stuff banging on all week. And I thought, right, okay, overnight I got done. That took 2 or 3 days at the game, hence there's been no videos, but I'm going to try and make some more videos to be going up every single night next week. That would be a bonus. And indeed, an important, interesting live stream for next Friday. I'm going to leave it there as a bit of a surprise. We're not going to elaborate on that, but it's going to be different, but it's going to be the same format. So that's all good. So once again, thank you for everyone who's donated. Seriously, massively appreciate it. Also, the mailing list, I forgot to say, I should have said this earlier, but yes, we are getting the website moving along. And once we got a guy come back from holiday to finish it all off, it's going to be launched. All right. So yes, the website is going to be up this summer, guarantee it. So everyone who wants to be on it, the mailing list is really growing. We got well over 3,000 people on that list, and we're going to try and get content. I have to train myself to how to do it myself rather than expect a friend of mine to do it. Again, it's more time and it's more brain for this online computer stuff. I'm not really good at it, and I do struggle. So once I've learned how to do my own newsletters, I'll be doing them on a more regular basis. So don't forget to sign up for that. The link's below the video. It's real simple. All you got to do is put your email address in, nothing else. It's all GDPR. It's all official, above board, and it's all through an encrypted network now. Totally clean. So that's all good. And the last final thing, if you've got any information that you want to share with me so I can put the pieces of this massive jigsaw puzzle together and indeed share with the world, as many people as I can. And if you wish to remain anonymous, it's absolutely fine. The email address, send me, I check them every day, is below this video. Send me an email and we can look into what you want me to cover on YouTube, because we are not finding out the truth on the mainstream. Like we've just been noticing earlier, the figures are well fudged. It's way different than that. We know it. If the mainstream narrative is saying inflation's at 11.1% and we know it's around 50, says it all, doesn't it? So yeah, send me an email and I'll do my best to whack it up there, and that would be sweet as a nut. So last but not least, everyone who's been taking part in the chat, really appreciate it. All of you guys who have watched this on the replay, I really appreciate you taking your time to go through this and to take some notes. Don't forget the links below this video is imperative, right? There's tons of links down there. I advise you to check them all out and see where it takes you, because there's lots to unpack. There really is. No joke. Okay, like I said, I do this for a living. Lots of time has gone into them links. Check them out, especially if you've got time. I appreciate it. So everyone who's taking part in the chat, it's awesome if you can hit the thumbs up That's good, because what that does is it gets this video out far and wide so more people can see it, and they're seeing every single thing which you guys are putting in the chat. I've enabled chat replay, so anyone who watches this after it's been uploaded can see everything in the chat. Okay, we've got an awesome community in there. We've got some new moderators helping out the top 4 King of Kings, and the Queen of Queens is at the very top. She's probably gone to bed now. But yeah, I want to see if I can arrange that when little man rearranges his 1 hour going forward clock set. You know what I'm talking about. You guys have got kids. He still thinks, what we now is coming up to 11 o'clock. He still thinks it's 10 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's all crazy. And the moderators, last but not least, you wonderful moderators who literally keep this clean. If I didn't have any moderators in there, there's going to be trolls in there. There's going to be all sorts of like people slagging each other off. It'll be a horrible place to be. We want this to be a fun place to be. We want people to learn, help, share, inspires others, and to share information. That's what we want. Anyone that's saying negative stuff or knocking people or knocking me, you're not welcome. And the moderators are so good, they're going to smash you up with that blue spanner. All right. And if it carries on, you get blocked. And another cool thing is, once you get blocked, if you want to create other accounts to come back and attack, that's automatically blocked too. So yep, the moderators are awesome. So with that being said, you guys take care. Don't forget that bloody awesome overnight video tomorrow. It's wicked. Take care. Have a nice weekend. Happy Easter. Thanks for watching, and stay funky.